Good afternoon, happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces, guys. I think I got a mosquito bite actually from sitting in bed. I was like, I felt something on my arm and I was like, oh, maybe it's my hair, because like I had my hair down, right? I thought like, oh, that's what it is. I'm like, it was heavy enough. I felt it on my arm and I just like kind of like brushed it away, and all of a sudden I saw it flying away and I was like, that was a mosquito. And then all of a sudden I looked and I was like, I wonder if it was even like, you know, if it bit me or anything like that. Sure enough, I'm now itching. So yeah, I got my first mosquito bite of the year. I think it was the first mosquito bite. I think honestly when we had our bonfire, it wasn't really like, normally the mosquitoes get bad like more in like late July, like August and stuff like that. That's when we get a lot of mosquitoes. But normally like in like hot summer, there's not that many. Like June, July and stuff like that. But yeah, right around now is probably the time that they're coming out, and I just noticed one randomly landed on me. And so yeah, but when we had our bonfire earlier, I know I put bug spray on because Matthew and Jack were like complaining about bugs, but I never got bit like at all. So I don't know if like they were like mosquitoes or if they were like some other kind of bug that were just bothering them or what it was. But guys, we actually had a lot of fun today. We ended up, while we were babysitting, we made paper airplanes today and we flew them. I do have a clip for you guys that was in slow-mo of actually us like, you know, not racing the planes, but I had MacGyvered a way to get our hula hoop to actually hang off of the deck. I found bungee cords and got it to hang off the deck, and then I hung a like a frisbee, but it's like a circle frisbee, so there's still a hole through it then. And I had it so that it so that it was hanging off the deck so we could throw them through it to try and, you know, like get the planes to go through the holes and stuff like that. And then we also have these like kitty tent kind of things. Sorry guys, I just killed the mosquito that I found again. So hopefully that was the only one. I didn't get it before because like I said, I just swatted it away. But yeah, so anyways, we have these like, yeah, they're like kitty tent kind of things that have like holes in them and they go all the way through, like, you know, so you can climb in them and stuff like that. They're supposed to be like, you can stack, like we have 3, but you're supposed to be able to like stack a bunch together and like make like, you know, something or other out of them, you know, kind of thing, like a tent or tunnel or something like that. We also had like a tunnel one, but so anyways guys, those two, I stacked them on top of each other so you could try and like throw the what's it called, the paper airplanes that we made through. So we made the paper airplanes first. Well, we read a book about paper airplanes, which was the Berenstain Bears book, which I love the Berenstain Bears, guys. I also have an excuse now that we're babysitting to like read these books, which I love. Like I said, I love the Berenstain Bears. So we ended up reading, I think it's called like Fly It or something like that. I know there was 4 books I think or something like that that were like do it books, like paper airplanes. There was one that I think was called Cook It that we have. I think there's like a Grow It one and like some other one. The Cook It one too we had, and it was like, here's how you can make pancakes, and it like gave you a little like pancake recipe or something like that. And then of course this like goes on to say like, make sure you don't use the stove without your parents. But the paper airplane one that we had, we ended up reading that book today. Then we made the paper airplanes according to the book, which was the first time that I've ever made like a classic airplane. I've always made the like basic easy one because I could never figure out how to fold like a classic airplane. Today was the first day after reading that book and following the instructions and everything like that that I finally learned how to fly or like make an actual airplane. Like an actual paper airplane, like the ones that fly good too. So we ended up doing that today, and then we ended up coloring them, and we put our little pilots in the little paper airplanes and everything like that, and we made like, you know, colored it up and designed our airplanes and all that kind of stuff, and then we flew them around outside. By this time Jack had to leave for football already, so we didn't get to spend too much time outside. But while we were actually doing that, I was like, you know what, why don't we try to, because sometimes like the airplane would like go so fast that you wouldn't really be able to see like what was happening. And so I was like, why don't I try and record it on my phone, and we can play it, like record it in slow-mo, and we can watch it back and then see like what was happening, you know, and like how like fast or how slow, or like, you know, watch the airplane, like how the wings were moving, or, you know, like just different kind of stuff. So we ended up doing that with the phone, and I recorded a few times. And so we ended up, like I said, doing that in the backyard today, which was pretty fun. And so I do have a little snip of one of the slow-mo videos. We were just like throwing it through like the hoops already. Yeah, that was, like I said, it was actually kind of fun. I actually enjoyed myself doing that. But then I was telling him, I was like, oh, maybe tomorrow we can try and make paper boats and like float them, or like race them in like the little kiddie pond or whatever, little kiddie pool that we have. I don't think we'll be able to race them, but we might be able to make them. And I think because it's water play, he might find that a little bit more entertaining. So like the paper airplanes was like a good long process, but I think like once we got outside it started to get a little hot too, and then it seemed like we both kind of started to like lose interest. Like there wasn't a whole lot anymore that we could really like, you know, keep doing after we kind of like flown it through the hula hoop like 5 times. You know, it's kind of like it gets repetitive. So yeah, we ended up doing that today, but we might try and do paper boats tomorrow. The only thing is I've never ever made a paper boat. I have no clue, so I was like Pinteresting like, how do you make a paper boat? I might try and do one ahead of time tomorrow so I can actually like help him make it, because today he was able to follow like one of the instructions on how to make the paper airplane. And he made it and it was able to fly and stuff like that, which was pretty cool. But yeah, the paper boat, like I said, I'm more concerned about that, because those that I know of like are not really easy to make. So we'll try that. I also know we have a Curious George book where it's like Curious George Goes to the Park or something like that. I don't even know which one it is, but I know that it's one where like he has a paper boat, or like a paper hat that he turns into a paper boat or something like that. I think that's the right book. And I know we have it somewhere in the attic, but I have to again dig through and find it. The good thing is that most of our children's books, after me and Matthew cleaned out the attic, are kind of all combined into one spot. The problem is that they're all in boxes and they're not like organized, so they're all on top of each other, and like, you know, but they're for the most part all in like, you know, places that I know where they are. But it's just really hard to like get to and like get the books out that I'm like, oh, I'm thinking of that book, let me get that one. Because like the other one too that he seems to enjoy is we have these like Look and Find books, which, guys, when I was little, those things were like my favorite books like ever. Basically it's like a Where's Waldo, but it was like all Disney. Like we had Little Mermaid, we had Beauty and the Beast, I think we had like maybe 1 or 2 other ones, and then we also, Matthew had a Marvel one that was like Marvel Comics, and I think maybe we had like a Mickey Mouse, just like a generic Mickey Mouse or something like that. And I just found the Little Mermaid one in the attic, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this. And so we've been like doing that like sometimes like right before his mom gets here, because like today like we didn't have enough time to really like start anything else, so I was like, let's do like another page of this, you know, and like do the Look and Find thing or whatever. So like that ended up working out. But yeah, so I'm like, that's the other thing too, is like the books are up in the attic, but I can't figure out where they are, and like I know we have them and I know they're somewhere, but I need to try and find them. So yeah, guys, that's what I ended up doing for today. I also edited 4 vlogs for today. I did dishes, laundry, I cooked dinner. I like am just beat. The other thing too that really upset me was this morning I woke up at like 6 in the morning to the dogs like whining and like scratching and like just like, I don't know what they were doing, but they were up at like 6 in the morning and they woke me up, and then I started smelling something and I was like, what is this smell that I am smelling? One of the dogs must have had an upset stomach, because there was a number 2 all over my floor. Luckily, I am so happy there was nothing on my carpet. It was like just on like right in front of my door. I also know that Jack didn't let them out before he went to bed last night because, like, Matthew took him out last night when he got back from work, but then I was like, oh, tell Jack to take the dogs out, and then he's like, oh, Jack's asleep, and I was like, well, you didn't let him out too long ago, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay. So, like, I wasn't thinking it was going to be a problem, and I don't know if one of them just had, like, an upset stomach, too, or something like that, and ended up, like I said, went to the bathroom on my floor and woke me up at 6 in the morning. So then I was like, seriously, it's 6 in the morning and I have to be up at like 6:45, 7 o'clock or whatever. And I was like, I'm like not gonna get back into a deep restful sleep. Like, honestly, ever since 8 o'clock tonight, I've been like, can it please just be like 10 o'clock? Can I please go to bed? And the only thing I'm scared about is going to bed early and then actually being more tired, like sleeping like longer or something like that, because I'm gonna feel like I need more sleep. So like, I think I've told you guys too, like once I get into like a deep restful sleep and like started like oversleeping, then that's like, I feel like I can't get out of that kind of sleep. And so I'm like, I don't want to like go to sleep early tonight. But I woke up at 6 o'clock. I ended up falling back asleep for like probably about like a half an hour to 45 minutes, and then woke up at 7 o'clock. I was like, this is seriously, and it took me like 15 minutes to clean up like my floor and everything like that. So then, like I said, by that time it was like almost 7 o'clock, and I was like, this is lovely, and I have to pretty much be up now. So I didn't sleep super well last night. I slept really well and like really restful, and I was really like good sleep up until that like 6 in the morning when I heard the dogs like up around, walking around in my room, and I was like, what is going on in here? And yeah, that's what woke me up this morning. So I wasn't too happy about that, guys. But the rest of today, I felt like I actually had a lot of energy. Like I said, we went out and did like the paper airplanes and stuff like that, and like we had fun. So anyways though, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.